Hi, I'm Phyllis from southernfrugal.com. Today we're going to fix some soup with Walmart Hamburger. And this is, I think I've been saying it was 96% lean. It's, 97%. It's actually 96%. And they got the little heart healthy sign on it. Anyway, we've used this hamburger several times. I've never used it in soup, but it tastes really good, which is shocking for Walmart. I know, it's just shocking. But anyway, I know it's going to be good because I actually bought 3 packs this last time. So I'm going to go ahead and brown this meat. It's a little dark because it's still frozen. Not totally frozen, but partially frozen. Alright, and so for the other ingredients in the soup, I'm just going to splatter it up. Okay, gotta go wash my hands. I'll be right back. Alright, I got my hands washed, and I wanted to talk to you some more about this meat. Now, if you were using this type of hamburger to, say, grill hamburgers outside, you'd really want to get, what I would do is get 1 pack of this and then 1 pack of the kind that's got a little more fat in it, because it would be dry, I believe. But anyway, so far, every which way I have fixed this, it's been absolutely delicious. And let me say, better than Bilo's meat, better than Publix hamburger, yeah, and certainly better than Piggly Wiggly's. So, what can I say? I don't know what they're doing different, but they're doing something. Now, I have not tried any of their other meat other than the pork. It was very good too, but I haven't tried any roast or anything like that, but I'm getting ready to. So, anyway, we're going to brown the hamburger, and when it gets a little bit brown, I'm going to go ahead and put in, there's chopped onions, and they're rough chopped onions, chopped celery. I've got some okra, in fact it's already thawed out. I'm going to put some of that in from the fresh tomatoes, and I did go ahead and freeze a bunch of tomatoes this morning, so I took care of that. I don't have any carrots because I've made pulp out of all of them for smoothies. So I'm going to put 5 cubes of carrot pulp in the soup, and also field peas, which I've already cooked, and I'll tell you why I cooked those first, and green baby limas, which I love. So the reason I cook them separate is because when you put them in the soup, if you've already put salt in there, the bean, the little hull on the bean tends to not be as tender as it is if you just cook them in water with no salt. I'm not sure why, but that's the way it works. So anyway, let's see if I've got anything else. Oh, I was trying to decide, am I going to put a little cabbage in the soup, or would I rather put a little broccoli? And I get those big packs of broccoli from Walmart, the bird's eye, that great big pack. And so you really can't put that in when you put everything else in because it comes all apart. So I'll wait, if I decide to do that, which I probably will. I'm going to wait until, about 10 minutes before we serve the soup and put the broccoli in then, so it doesn't come all apart. And it's in, the one I get is a little broccoli florets. It doesn't have the big stalk, although that's healthy for you. It really is. But anyway, so that's it. I'm going to go ahead and peel my potatoes. I've got 5 big potatoes I'm going to use because I love a lot of potatoes in the soup. And the other thing, I just want to mention this, I'm not sure why it is, but we love soup with hamburger, if it's good hamburger. And so I fix a big pot of it, and we literally eat on it for 3 days, usually. And I don't take the pot out of the refrigerator every time we have it. What I do is dip out enough for whatever we're going to have for that meal. And I'll have grilled cheese with it. And today I'm fixing a big pan of cornbread. Now this is the plain white cornmeal, so you have to mix flour with it to make your cornbread. But anyway, I'm going to fix a big pan of cornbread, and that way we'll have cornbread today and several other times. But anyway, I think soup is very frugal. You get all those vegetables in it and not too much meat. And anyway, all right, so once this hamburger gets brown and I've sauteed the celery and the onions, we'll be back. All right, there's a hamburger, slightly browned. Now, there's no grease left in the pot hardly, so I'm going to have to add a little bit of oil in order to saute my onions and my celery. So I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons in there. And go ahead and put in my celery and my onions. If I had fresh carrots, I would put them in now too. Just saute that all together. And they won't be completely cooked all the way through, but I want to cook them a little bit and kind of sweat them out so that they have a stronger flavor. Yeah, I can't say enough about the Walmart meat. I mean the Walmart hamburger, the lean hamburger. It is really, really good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little salt in this to kind of help it sweat out a little bit. And once this is cooked down a little bit, we'll be back. All right, the celery and the onions have been cooking for, I guess, about 10 minutes. And they're pretty well, the onions are translucent now. So now I'm going to go ahead and put in 4 cups of water. Now this is filtered water, and I also put it in the microwave to heat it up. And next, I'm going to put in my potatoes. Now this is 4 cups of cubed potatoes. And I go ahead and cook them now because I don't want them looking all orange from the tomatoes. So if you cook them a little bit prior to putting in the tomatoes, they'll stay white in the middle. So I'm going to dump those in, and we'll give those a good 10 minutes or more to cook. And I'm going to go ahead and put my meat in too now. Let all this cook together now. I'm going to go ahead also and put in some of my spices. I'm going to be using dill weed. Go ahead and put that in. I love dill weed in almost anything. I'm going to go ahead and put in a little bit of basil leaves. Now I'll be putting more in as this cooks down a little bit. And one of the things that greatly enhances the taste of potatoes, oregano. In fact, I use oregano a lot of times just when I'm making like boiled potatoes, because it really enhances the taste of it. All right, let's stir that up a little bit. And this time we're going to go ahead and put the lid on it and let it cook 10, maybe even 15 minutes, and then we'll be back. All right, my potatoes have been cooking for a little while, and I'm ready to add the other ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my field peas that are already cooked. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the little butter beans. These are baby green limas. I'll dump those in. Stir that around a bit. We're probably going to have to add more water too. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in my carrot cubes. This is just carrot pulp. And the reason I'm using that is because I don't have any fresh carrots. So these are the pulp I use for smoothies. I'm going to give a little taste in there. Okay, so next I'm going to my fresh tomatoes. It won't take any of this long to cook now. And next, I'm going to add some green beans, and these are from Aldi's, Season's Choice, and they were grown in the Netherlands, and we just love these green beans. And they come long like that, and I went ahead and chopped them up since we're using them in soup. So usually they're grown in France, but I noticed this pack said they were grown in the Netherlands. Yeah, they're really, really tasty, and it only takes about 10 minutes for them to cook. Well, I'll make sure it's only 10 minutes. Let's see, 8 to 9 minutes. Yeah, they're really, really good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little more water. Probably about, I don't know, 2 more cups or so. Just stir that around, get everything kind of mixed up. Yeah, I opted out on the broccoli or the cabbage in favor of those little green beans. All right, so the last thing I'm going to add, and I'm going to make sure it stays on top, is my cut okra, and it's already thawed out. So I'm just going to dump it on top and just spread it out a little bit, because I don't want it to go down to the bottom, because sometimes it'll stick on the bottom when I do that. So I'm going to go ahead now and put the lid on it. Actually, I probably better put some salt in now. And I'll probably have to salt it some more and put a few more spices in once it gets pretty well done. All right, so we'll be back when this gets done, and I'm going to go ahead and make my cornbread, and this will probably be ready in 45 minutes. We'll be back. All right, the soup is ready, and the cornbread is ready, and we're ready to eat. Now, this cornbread was made with stone ground cornmeal, which is very fine ground, almost as fine as flour, so it's a much more cake-like texture, but still very moist. A big blob of butter right in the middle of it. There's my plate, and of course our iced tea. So there's a good look at the soup. Now I'm going to entitle this something to do with how fantastic the soup is on the 3rd day. Yeah, so we only take out what we actually are going to have for a meal, and we'll just put this whole thing in the refrigerator and just dip it out as we need it. There's the cornbread. Yeah, more cake-like, but very moist. All right, so we are ready to eat. Hope that didn't make you dizzy. All right, we will see y'all next time.